Oh, I know this song. Wait, it's like a second. I know this song.
If I just do a random one bar on this thing, what's that go? Oh. You just like. Oh. I thought you jumped and died, bro. Yo, Grim! Thank you for the raid, bro. That's for you. That's for you, son. Thank you for the raid, Grim.
Wait, John Valorant raid?
Dude, we were just talking about you. We were saying how handsome you are for being level 1500. Where are you? I saw you on my friends list being level 1500, and I was like, wow, that's a handsome guy right there. Let's go off TMI.
I don't think that's what Aker said, but...
Yeah. What?
What? No. Yo,
Definitely. Such shots. Wait, okay, guys, we gotta get a clip for Grim's viewers. Oh, yeah, get in there, Zitai. His clothes amazing. Not to nothing.
And I'll go take that.
Get out of my way.
You see them both? Oh. Yeah, less Ben.
Yes. यहाँ से नीचे उतरना मतलब it is going to be.
Bring on Alan. I expected better of them. But Grim, what is this sleep schedule, bro? It's 4 p.m. for me. Did you just end your stream at like 7 a.m. or something?
That was good. Grim's always been on like some like brain dead hours. like 3 hours.
Explains why it sounds like explains why it sounds like XQC. Someone grab Spike.
No.
Old. Old. Old.
With everything else. Reinhauen.
Die letzte Mauer, das bis aufs letzte bis auf die letzte Bombe, weil das ist einfach nicht effizient. Aber auch nicht komplett geistkrank reinwaschen. Einfach so inzwischen. Stimmt für mich extrem. Sag ich dir das.
If you're gonna just go be slow,
Maybe when I fall here, we can't go slow. Maybe slow. Try contact it like 2 times.
yeah, sure. I'm gonna play it.
Or to rule them all. All right, let's get into the draft now. To me, Wukong and Rumble are super high priority, especially for KT. So you need to get one early. They do that, so they get the jungle part. I still think Perfect Rumble is like his best champion, and they should probably still index in that pretty early on in this draft before there's a chance for T1 to ban it out. But here you go, T1 immediately grabbing Faker's Taliyah, which has been point and click this tournament.
It feels like there is not a skill shot that this guy cannot connect with. He has been incredible thus far. I want to point out, as we get deeper into Fearless, something to keep our eye on. Double support bans targeted at Keria. The Bard, the Neeko, impressive stuff. KT, are they willing to keep leveraging these bans as we go deeper in the series? Something that we'll need to track, something that the Death brought up, but the Taliyah, as well as the Varus here in game one. T1 are not pulling any punches. These are picks that have been so incredibly successful for them across the tournament.
We're doing greatest hits, right? Triple bans going towards BDD, which I think, given his form this tournament, has been absolutely stellar. Complete no-brainer. But there is that Rumble you mentioned, even when Perfect was struggling throughout this year. Rumble was a champion you could trust him on no matter what. And I love that they took away the Taliyah, not just because of Faker's pedigree in it, but also on what BDD has been able to do with it. Particularly that Wukong-Taliyah combination, absolutely lethal. And it's going to be the pickup of the Rise here for BDD, a counter pick we've seen many times into Taliyah. And we're not done because Owner gets his Xin Zhao.
Oh, how an epic matchup we have ahead of us. Watch out for BDD looking for some flash plays, looking for some solo kills. As you mentioned, though, we are going down the tier list for both sides. So both sides are getting a lot of what they want. This is what you expect in game number one. All right, let's get into the bottom lanes though, because the rest of the bottom lanes, for both these teams, the push has been incredibly important. So already banning out some of these poke answers to the Varus, the Ezreal has definitely been one of those.
And we heard so much about how crucial the bot lane 2v2 is. T1 securing the Varus earlier in the draft, banning away some of the potential comfort picks for Dokdom, something that has to be respected because KT, yes, their top side is incredible, but if it costs them a strong bot lane, it could be disastrous.
And I want to highlight as well, I think both teams drafting towards their tendencies. KT have been an incredible team-finding team this tournament. It's also what they used to take down Gen G way back in LCK playoffs. And T1 already have so much early skirmishing power. Both the Varus as well as the Xin Zhao, and specifically the Xin Zhao Taliyah, can really allow you to snowball early, something that T1 has loved doing ever since this four-man core came together.
Eyes now on what the final ban will be here from the side of KT. Another support potentially to be taken away. Sivir, Ezreal, the two AD bans. Sivir, of course, fantastic at empowering a lot of these diving threats from the side of KT. And T1, the Renata taken away. I like that. Heads up play from the side of KT to limit the counter engage options to make sure that their dive can be affected. But we're looking at a carry a counter pick available as we get later in the draft.
Poppy!
Oh, does make sense here. Poppy is going to come through here for Keria. I do want to like the Poppy a lot into the Wukong. Also want to highlight, normally I could see KT go towards Ziggs, but with already double AP, I don't think that's going to be an option.
Yeah, maybe like an Ashe or something like that. It has been really good for both of these AD carries. So if you pick Ashe early, then the Fearless bans for later, and that would lend some more engage to this team. But they've got a lot of options open down here. He has also really liked the Caitlyn pretty early on in some of the series. Nice, okay, so they do go for the Ashe option we were talking about, and if you just pair that with some sort of team fighting support here for Peter, the Braum, he has been able to use Braum as an engage champion even in some scenarios, and the double Freljord really rounds out their team fight.
And Doran gets his Ambessa. This to me is the champion that he started kind of the turnaround on. Coming into T1, there was a lot of pressure on this player, and it wasn't until that layup towards the road to MSI where it really started popping off, and a lot of that was on Ambessa. My only question is that Poppy blind pick, I think picking it away makes sense. It is, again, really good into the Wukong, but it does mean that I think now Dokdom and Peter in that pure 2v2 are going to be feeling great, because Poppy, strong as she is, can struggle in the lane, particularly against a bully like Ashe.
And it is Keiria's Poppy, so he could just have a magical Poppy ultimate later. He could get some flash plays going off. You can just turn around entire team fights. You hit a couple people with that ulti. Let's get into it, though. I mean, Perfect as well. We talked about the Rumble priority early on for him. He has been one that is not afraid to play it into Ambessa, so this is going to tell a lot for the series as far as the top lane does go, you know, throwing this down. If Doran is unable to actually punish Perfect up here in the top lane, I think that would bode very well for KT.
And for both of these teams, bringing out the best of the best, we call them haymakers, the comfort picks, the best champions we've seen from them. A win here is crucial for the momentum, for the attitude in such a high-pressure stage, because T1 undoubtedly comfortable even when they're down. But for KT, saw them tested against Gen G, need to see them keep that momentum going forward. And we look across the board at these rosters, at these lineups, a lot of potential for huge playmaking moments, but that early game from the side of T1 with Keria on that Poppy, with the Xin for owner, is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I'm looking at early skirmishes here for T1. I'm looking at what can the mid laners do in terms of global impact. Both Ryze and Taliyah have the ability to impact side lanes. That's been a strength for both of these players. And there is also, again, the implications in Fearless, as we've highlighted, and I think that really puts even more pressure on, because BDD will not get to play Taliyah, Faker will not get to play Ryze, and Dokdom, he has had some insane Lethality Varus performances this tournament.
Certainly has. Game number one as well. I really liked how, after the Gen G upset, multiple KT members referenced how important game number one was for their mentality, for their confidence in pulling off that upset. And they referenced that after game one, they really thought they were just going to be able to do it. And so game one here on this huge stage, World Grand Finals versus T1. This has huge implications because T1 are the more experienced on this big stage with all of this pressure. If KT can grab that game number one, though, that might just give them the confidence to keep that KT roller coaster going up.
Absolutely. That's the spark that we need to see because we've seen it from T1 before, to dig deep, to make the impressive runs happen, to make it to this final stage so many times. The 4th time consecutively for KT, it's a bit of a mystery. We saw them dig deep. We saw the tenacity we had been waiting for from this lineup against Gen G. In that game one that you mentioned, on the Yone, making the plays to bring it back. Can they do the same today? Moments away now from getting into the game. Bit of a delay on stage, but we have to talk about again. I feel like the top side here for KT, getting comfort. This is going to set the pace. This is going to set the tone for the series because if they get a win on these picks, that is the surefire path to bringing us late into this one.
And as another reminder, Perfect is Rumble. We even saw it for stretches in the LCK, just get banned. Just not give him the opportunity to play this champion. Make sure that he wasn't on comfort. And thus far, Perfect's had an absolutely stellar tournament. He's been playing incredibly well, but we also haven't really seen any team pay attention towards the top side. It's all been about the bot side, and I don't really expect that to change. The Ambessa matchup to me also says we're looking to just take the early beating in lane prio and then be able to later on, once Ambessa gets to that 2 free item breakpoint, to really start dealing out that heavy damage in the side lane and in the fights.
Yeah, we'll see when Ambessa gets Eclipse, if she gets Eclipse. Honestly, we did get a little update though. I think they are remaking the Champion Select, so we do have a bit of time here. More anticipation before we get into
as if the opening ceremony and the incredible video wasn't enough. We just have to keep building the tension.
Yeah, I mean, Jem singing about sacrifice, all of the players talking about...
Kobe talking about sacrifice in the video.
Yeah, you were there.
How much they have all poured into this, though. It really does hit home so hard when you hear the stories of so many of the KT players being inspired by T1 members specifically. You know, BDD talking about Faker and his Zed play being the moment that he even chose to become a mid laner. As well, you know, some of these legacy T1 players like Wolf as well, inspiring the next generation. And now KT, these players that were inspired, find themselves here on the stage, capable of inspiring others.
Yeah, and it's a reminder that competitive League of Legends is grueling. How many millions of players does it take to churn out 100 pros across the world, to break it down over constant domestic tournaments into international events, to bring us down to just the 10 players left standing? How many people have lost to Faker and Solo Queue over the year, or BDD over the year, just to lead to this moment where they can play at their absolute best on the World Final stage?
I'm still flabbergasted that we have a telecom war in the Grand Finals at worst. I don't know. We've had a week to kind of deal with this. I'm still not quite there. It's a lot.
It really is epic. I mean, the telecom wars spanning multiple decades of rivalry, multiple games, multiple genres of games, and now fighting over that Summoners Cup. We have made our way onto the Rift for the first game.
A brief moment
30 seconds until minions spawn.
for the fans on both sides. But no surprise in any arena when the T1 fans are just that little bit louder. We've said it before, but it feels like every single arena we go to, no matter what region it is in, T1 are the hometown heroes.
Already seeing a very aggressive level 1, as you would expect from both Ashe and Braum here. I want to highlight one thing that we've seen this tournament is the arms race when it comes to teleport in the bot lane. Right now, Guma did actually go for the teleport, and Dokdom hasn't. So Dokdom does have a combat summoner, but they need to actually get any mileage out of that, because if not, you are going to lose in the long run if you have even trades, because your opponent will be able to cheat tempo way better than you do. And we'll also see whether lane swaps might play a part in that as well, because teams have been very happy to swap for grubs.
Yeah, meanwhile on the other side, Guma won't have a cleanse if he does get hit by an Ashe arrow.
Yeah.
And so we'll see which bet ends up paying off.
And it's important to note, as thrilled, as excited we are at this matchup, the story of these two teams this year has been incredibly one-sided. The most recent best of we saw, KT were able to make the upset happen, but it's only because of the tournament form that we've seen from KT that there's faith that this telecom war isn't just going to be one-sided.
Yeah, there's a little interesting bit at the very end there.
That was a 2-0.
One little bit of an upset, and we have been seeing this KT roller coaster keep going up. Gen G had similar dominance over this team, and KT were able to upset them.
Yeah, and shout out to the production team for this graphic on a side note. We said Galaga, we were kind of joking, but it does feel apt. It's not a roller coaster anymore, it's a spaceship, but If there's one team that might bring them back down to earth, it is Faker himself. Of course, we did see in the meantime a bit of early trading on the bottom side. Heal use from Peter for that additional movement speed to make sure some of that damage would stick. But Peter and Dokdam, they're getting prio, but losing out a bit when in terms of overall HP. That said, Guma has already popped the pot, so still quite favorable for KT overall.
Still cookie for Dokdam as well, as both junglers will be pathing towards the bot side. Obviously, Wukong prefer to just farm to 6. Has decent access to lanes, but not really any CC, nor that meaningful damage to speak of, particularly pre-first base, but really not until he gets a Triforce. Oner, though, on the Xin Zhao has been, for me, the main early game engine for T1 for, well, I could say the entire year, but we can go a couple years back at this point. There's been a reason why this man has really been, I think, by many considered over the whole year the best jungler that we had in the LCK.
And the desk so beautifully highlighted his consistency, right? He feels like the rock for this team. That's been doubly true for T1 domestically. Of course, at Worlds, so many of the members of the team have stepped up, so it doesn't just feel like Oner running the show in the early game, but need to see where those early ganks are going to come from, because the Xin, we know, can have that early impact, even while we expect the Wukong to farm.
Yeah, and on the opposite side, that Wukong that I really highly prioritize right now, as far as the jungle pool, is going to find the first skirmish.
Cuz kicking things off, Carrier waiting off to the side, TP already used, flash backwards, the concussive blow stacking, Oner 2, they got him! Manages to lock him down, and that's gonna be first blood. They're donating it to BDD.
The roam up the bottom lane here. Peter on the Braum again. He's able to roam early into the river. That makes the difference. The concussive blows actually makes the difference. They pop the blast code, and it is KT who strike first.
And let it be known that BDD is like, oh, you want to fight for Scuttle? I'm TPing straight to river. And it's that bot lane prio we talked about. Because they had the prio, starting level 1, Peter was able to roam up, and Oner gets caught off guard.
Pushing lanes are everything for early jungle skirmishes. This is the first highlight that you ever talk about for jungling, for objectives. BDD comes over, he roams down, Peter roams up, and KT as a team are able to collect their first blood. We did warn against the possibility of BDD also taking over, by the way. He has been magnificent at this tournament. He has been such a carry player all year long for this KT squad.
And what I love with BDD is it goes way further back, right? Is perfect!
All in, Doran forced to flash back, just a trade of flashes, but Doran struggling to survive now in this matchup as Peter does his best to hold the wave. Carrier going for the knockback on the heroic charge. Guma a bit more damage, but clearly the lane's getting a little bit anxious, trying to force these bigger plays.
But we're seeing there is no hesitation from KT. Perfect with the confidence on the rumble to go in. But for BDD, as I wanted to, just as a small reminder, this man was one game away from making, and I would say dragging his team to finals back in 2021. As
Dokdam going in, Hunter's volley not quite enough. Now Carrier's looking to finish the job himself. Slowly but surely the Poppy whittling him down. Dokdam forced to flash away, but Carrier hungry for blood. A little bit more time, the Q flash forward. Dokdam with a bit of a sidestep, extra movement speed, trying to make it through the minions. Dokdam living for an extra moment, avoiding the angle back into the wall. Carrier gets the knockback. The clutch coming out, 1 for 1 in the bottom lane.
And Dokdam tries to get Guma, pays for it with his life, but he does get the trade back.
Okay, now they're going to gank bottom lane too. Guma's trying to push the wave in. They're going to punish him.
Flash.
The wraparound. Braum is there. Wukong is there.
Dokdam on the way down. He won't be there in time. However, Unbreakable Peter looking to mark him up. Concussive blows finally hitting. Auto attack reset more than enough. Guma Yushi falls at the hands of Cuz.
And KT are not letting them breathe. That is already a kill going over to Cuz. Wukong accelerated, and it's a 1.2k gold lead at 6 minutes, Kobe.
And Cuz has done so much for this KT squad. He has been carrying really heavily himself. With early money onto Wukong, you get to your Triforce so accelerated, and you can win those mid-game team fights. Here's another look at Guma baiting down until the last auto, his health bar, so that his support can go for the kill.
Because Dokdam was trying to just cancel the base, but didn't know Carrier was still there. Carrier was in the tri-bush, canceled his base, and that's what led to this extended sequence. And Carrier going for, this was fine, right? That 1-for-1 trade is good because you killed the AD carry, but it's the punish onto Guma here that turns it very much in favor of KT.
Exactly, the reason why you say that play is fine is because then they're going to assume that they get the push in on the minions afterwards, which would make it worth it, but the timings from Peter and Cuz, they've been so synced up this game. The early roam into the river, this roam here, they come back out onto the map at the perfect timing to punish the attempt to push the wave in, which also earns them this early dragon. And as we talked about in the setup, before you even got into game number one can have huge implications here as far as the confidence for KT in their ability in this grand finals. They talked about it after upsetting Gen G, and they are off to a very good start here early on in game number one.
Incredibly impressive start as once again, the flick connecting onto BDD. Faker holding his own in the mid lane decently well despite those early kills going down, but you both highlighted it so well. Dokdam, really everything working out perfectly for him as his team is there to support. His team is there to cover. We did see in the picture-in-picture while we were breaking down that replay, an attempted gank top side from Owner. Wanted to try to find an angle onto Perfect. Perfect, beautiful size up on the W means it doesn't go through. But KT on the bottom lane, now that Guma has this 6, potentially more angle here for T1 to play if they want to recoup some of these losses.
And for T1, there is still a lot of power in their team fight. I particularly like your ability to single out targets and force unfair fights, right? With the Taliyah, with the Poppy as well. Poppy in particular can really turn any game around as long as you find high enough value targets. But we also need to be real. This early game is being completely run right now by KT.
T1 recognize they cannot contest the grubs. Pryo on the top side still in favor of Perfect. Mid lane relatively even, slightly in favor of the side of T1. Faker hovers into the darkness, threatens maybe a Weaver's Wall to the bottom lane, but Peter and Dokdam pretty effortlessly holding for now. So difficult to dive this Ashe Braum, but Keria might go for it anyway. Forward, Dokdam there. Case to stand behind me, wants to come through, but Keria, of course, can interrupt. Flashing out instead, then using the W to escape just to make...
Algorithm monster है मेरे
undisputed.
देखिए एक जरूरी जान
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Minions have spawned.
Hey, is there a doctor on hand? Asking for my opponents.
First blood.
I don't like hurting people. I like the money I get. I ain't never lost.
An ally has been slain.
You got my money? What you say about my mama?
An ally has been slain.
Too hairy for humans, too smooth for Vistaya. What are you gonna do? Let's give him a show.
An ally has been
आप
slain.
देख रहे हैं भाई लोग जो के सामान दिए मतलब
An
आजा आजा आजा
Everyone's got a plan until they get slammed into the ground.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
नहीं भाग मत
Has been slain. An ally has been slain.
नहीं वाह
Ionia. Place was so damn quiet before I came along. They called me Set the Beast Boy Bastard. Now it's Set the Beast Man Bastard.
Enemy killing spree.
This is the part where you bleed.
Everything is better than mushrooms.
You call me
अरे यार उसको अल्टीमेट उस पर नहीं काम करता है हट
I almost felt that one.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Tuck that chin, boss.
Killing spree. You have slain an enemy. Your turret has been destroyed.
Oh, look. A punching bag. Technique.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
साला मेरा किल चुरा लिया
Shut down. Your team has destroyed a turret.
ओके नॉट द राइट टाइम भाई को अकेले मार मैं नहीं मर रहा इसमें आजा 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 थोड़ा सा और क्लोज आजा.
If anyone's watching this fight,
Nice.
nothing people hate more than a guy who makes them lose.
Oh भाई साहब.
Things I love. My mama, breaking necks, and
Your
fine
team has
items.
destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. Enemy rampage. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Only one of us can leave.
Shut down.
Busted heads.
You have slain an enemy.
You know, you don't really know someone until you fought him to the death. It's all fun and games till someone gets their face caved in. Little bit between rounds, then come out swinging.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Looks like I brought my fists to a knife fight. Honestly, I feel bad for the
Your
knives.
team has destroyed a turret.
Nice.
Being the boss is a lot better than not being the boss.
An ally has been slain.
Mm-hmm.
When you're on top, there's always some chum trying to drag you down, pulling at your feet, scuffing up your nice shoes.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Everyone loses. Wow. Almost everyone.
What?
An enemy is dominating. Enemy double kill.
So, that's losing, huh? Not my favorite thing.
Killing spree.
अबे
Your team has destroyed a turret. Killing spree. Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
nice.
Shut down. Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
I don't bother with jabs. If you're throwing, throw it hard. Busted head. You're in my pit now.
Ah.
Ring a bell.
Oh,
A lot of
steady.
people trying to take me down.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
No tapping out in my pit. You know, life's really all about the quiet time
An
between
ally has been
deaths.
slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. An enemy has been slain.
भाई कितने ज़्यादा जाएंगे?
People say they don't like violence.
An
But they
enemy
all
has been slain. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Double kill.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
भाग 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 भाग
An ally has been slain.
Hold up. Gotta ice the knuckles.
almost done.
tears with her claws.
An ally has been slain.
Okay. Thanks for the help. Easy peasy bean.
Victory! I am bound, but I will not break.